Yeah, I heard Penn talking about how, he doesn't agree with Trump, but he respects that he
and he
comes out and says what.
But he's also afraid that Trump actually thinks he's got a shot.
Yes. What was that on?
That's his own show.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I just saw a link off of Reddit and I watched it there. Right. I didn't know what show it actually was. All right, you ready? I'm ready. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 521. The Unpheasant Podcast.
I hope this show's not unpheasant.
Well, Nikki Hill's not here. Somebody's got to make the obvious jokes. Mom Brain, would you tell us about Unpheasant, please?
I really like Unpheasant.
Spell with a Z. Nice.
Yeah. Is that
well, that's what all the kids like nowadays. Things spelled with Z's.
Pheasant.
Unpheasant is a Pokemon resembling a game bird. It's
really
primarily dark gray with lighter gray markings. The light gray markings consist of a heart-shaped patch covering its face and throat, 2 patches divided by a lacy line on its wings, and intricate stripes with dark rimming. Yes, rimming on its tail feather.
It's always dark.
Its beak and eyes are yellow, so help me God, yellow eyes. And it has light gray legs
Pheasant dinner
with 3 clawed toes and a spur on the ankle. The male Unpheasant has a reddish-pink wattle around its eyes. Long ribbon-like growths from the wattle extend over its head and down past its shoulders. By swinging its head, the male threatens its opponents. The male also has a mint green underside with speckling towards the chest. In contrast, the female lacks a wattle and has brown markings on its underside. It is also more adept at flying than the male. That is Unpheasant. It's number 521. There are 2 entries for Unpheasant. I'm guessing one for the male, one for the female.
Most likely.
It is a normal flying type Pokemon. Its abilities include Big Pecs or Super Luck. And its hidden ability is Rivalry. And you are just as likely to find a male as you are a female. They clock in at just under 4 feet tall and 63.9 pounds on average.
That is a big game bird.
Thank you,
Mom Brain. Thanksgiving dinner.
G-Man Sir is the man of the hour. He says, I may be watching from the tub, but I still made it. That's my kind of guy. Thanks for joining us.
Wait, have you ever done a show from the tub?
From the tub, no, but you would think I would. Maybe I should. I mean, 520 was my chance to do it, and I didn't do it. Once we move into the new house, then I'll do it from it. That's a bigger tub. That'd work out. Got that nice little alcove in there too.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Special guests and stuff.
Can we highlight what you're using the Wii U controller stand for? By the way, I think that's brilliant. That's a really great idea.
I'm resting my phone on the gamepad stand so I can watch the chat from my phone because I need a new laptop. It's getting old.
Yeah, I need one with a working keyboard.
How old is this one now?
Well, I got it before we moved here, so that's
wow.
like over 6 years. I just don't know how long.
We haven't been here 6 years.
Been here 5 though, right?
No, I had it before we came here.
5. Just knowing.
Here you go. I got it before Circuit City went out of business.
Oh wow.
When they remember, because Circuit City had their
But you also had
everything must go sale
long before Circuit City went out of business.
Yeah. It was a good amount of time, but
what was that, Somerville Circuit City? That like Toys R Us?
Or was it the? Does it have Windows 7 on it?
Yeah, it came with Windows 7.
Okay.
Well, where else was there Circuit City?
Wasn't there one in Phillipsburg?
Yeah, I think we went to the Peaburg one, the one that's a Best Buy now.
Interesting.
And it always looks like it's closed because they never have the lights on in there. They use the skylights. They just have open ceiling, but if it's overcast, you can't see anything.
Yeah,
you go in there and it looks like it's closed.
Man, I've been in there forever.
But yeah, I need a new laptop. Did you upgrade to Windows 10?
No. I've heard some scary things about it.
I have upgraded. I want to say I had my mom upgrade first because she was like, "My upgrade's ready. Should I get it?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah. Your mom's a guinea pig.
Upgrade. I told her that. I said, "You're the guinea pig." She did it, and it went really well. And I, screwed around on it just to see what it was like and see if everything was okay. I was like, it seems all right. So I did it. I have no complaints so far. Really don't.
Well,
and I didn't do a clean install. That doesn't count. I I didn't do a clean install. I picked
Mess
it up
with
from
the
where I
cornel
was.
site?
But
That's what it seemed like.
no, we had an incident where I was I was moving the Windows 10 on the computer upstairs, and in the middle of that process, someone turned off the light switch in my office, which killed everything.
Ooh.
And made a, you know how they always show those warnings on screens where it's like, don't turn off the power, and I'm like, whoever does that? Well, now you know.
Now you know what happens when that happens.
That's why I'm happy to have a UPS.
So
Are we allowed to name this person?
Well, let's see. There's 2 people that live here, so.
And it wasn't either of us.
Oh, really?
It's the cat.
Never mind then.
No, it happened. It happened on movie night. It was the movie night person.
Oh no, it wasn't me.
And,
it was not you.
She feels pretty bad about it.
Oh, there's big.
Sure, it's corned beef.
It was not.
What?
I know.
Oh, I
it
would've
was
bet money
Julie.
on that.
Julie was looking for an ironing board for one of her
'Cause I wasn't
projects. So I don't know why, but she wanted it really bad apparently. But then she decided
Instead of calling me to find out where it was.
because she asked me, and I'm like, I have no
Hey,
idea where
where's
it
my
is.
ironing
I
board?
don't even know if we have one. So instead of like asking Danielle or Mom Brain or calling me or whatever, instead of doing anything a normal person would do, she just went in my office into my closet, and I'm like, why would it be in my closet in my office? That doesn't even make any sense. But as soon as she flipped the switch, she realized she did something wrong and came downstairs and was like, baby, I made a mistake.
So
This is what you get for being so welcoming.
I know, and I was like, movie night is the one night where I'm like, okay, no one's going to be upstairs like in my office. I don't need that computer. I can let the upgrade do its thing while I'm working downstairs, and then I'll go up and take care of it later. But
She spent the rest of the night going, Danny, I want to die. PB's so mad at me. Danny, I just want to die. I'm just like, PB's not mad at you. It's okay.
Everything is
I can't
okay
picture
now.
him being mad.
He was mad. I called and he was like,
Oh, yeah.
everyone's fine. And I was like, what happened? Because, sometimes he'll be like, it's bad. I'm like, oh my God, who died? Is everyone okay? He's like, everyone's fine. But here's what happened to my computer. And I was like, I'm not coming home.
I was mad at the situation. It was frustrating because I had the free upgrade to Windows 10. Like, you get a free upgrade. And I was in the middle of that. And then I had to, because of where it stopped, I had to reinstall Windows 7. But I got things back from a backup and blah, 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 blah. So now I don't know what I'm going to do for my update because it's not there anymore, obviously. I got in touch with them. We'll see what happens.
There's some security concerns, and
I read them, and
you should be able to turn them off.
It's Windows. There's always something to be worried about. I figured I know enough, and I'll be okay as far as what I'm doing and what I need it for.
To shut it off. Yeah,
I've
just been a little hesitant, so I've been shuffling around my data onto external hard drives so I can do it.
Well, if you want to see what it's like, you're welcome to check out my laptop later. I honestly as far as it goes as an operating system, I really like it.
I'll try
because you and I both were like, no, thank you, Windows 8. I couldn't do.
Well, I have Windows 8.1 on the laptop I bought. And I have Windows 7 on my PC.
That's what I had on both. I was like, I am not getting rid of Windows.
Yeah, I like Windows 7.
Yeah, Windows 10 so far, no problems as far as what I need to do. What's in my closet? Lots of Guitar Hero Rock Band stuff.
There's a lot of stuff in that closet.
Lots of video game stuff, obviously, tons and tons of it. But yeah, all that Guitar Hero and Rock Band stuff, which I guess I'll be using some of soon again, as long as you guys will join me.
And not an ironing board.
No ironing.
So the ironing board is in our bedroom closet, which you can't really get to the ironing board because our bedroom closet's a mess.
It happens.
That's what
the bedroom's clean. The closet's just a mess.
All right, let's do some Nintendo news. First off, I want to thank the guys at that are working on Oddworld, all the Oddworld developers, who I believe is Just Add Water, and obviously Lauren Lanning as well, the creator of Oddworld, because this week, well, it's been going on for a month and a half, but this week I was able to finally do it. A long time ago, they said they were bringing Oddworld New and Tasty to the Wii U. And then, about a year ago, Lauren Lanning said that they were having trouble getting the file size down. And they didn't want to release it in a version that people had to get an external hard drive for. So he said, I don't know what we're going to do. We're working on things. We're trying to figure stuff out. and then the game kind of just disappeared for a while.
Right?
But they got in touch with me a while back, and they know that I'm a big fan of Oddworld, and they said, hey, do you want to share the first screens of Oddworld on Wii U? And I was like, oh, it's still coming? And they're like, yeah, we're actually working on it. Things are going well. And we have screens. So it's the first screens of the Wii U version, like running on Wii U hardware. So I said, well, of course I would love to do that. So we had to work out a whole bunch of stuff, and it was a big secret, blah, blah, blah. And then I was allowed to tease it the day before I did it, which was earlier this week. But now we have the first screens from Oddworld New and Tasty running on Wii U. So we don't have a release date yet. They said it's coming soon. But now you know it didn't get canceled. It's definitely on its way, which I'm super excited for because I love Oddworld, and I'm definitely going to pick up the Wii U version.
Didn't you play that game?
Well, it's a remake of the original. So I played the original, obviously. I got the when it came out on PS4, I got it there because I got it for free. But I'm getting the Wii U version because I want to play with the gamepad and all that stuff because I love Oddworld. It's like one of my favorite franchises ever that people don't.
This was the first Oddworld game, right?
Yeah, first one. People don't. I don't think people give anywhere near the amount of respect it deserves. But yes, it's coming. So you can check out those screens, see what it looks like. We posted one of them on our Instagram, but the post is on the site as well. We'll have information on pricing and the official release date soon, and we'll share all that with you. But thank you to the Oddworld team because I was honored to share that stuff. I played Oddworld. What was it called? The original PlayStation had like a digital magazine. Oh, it was called PlayStation Underground. Like every couple months, I think they would send you a CD in the mail with demos on it, and one of the demos in it one month was the original Oddworld, and I played that demo like a million times over. I was so pumped for that game. And that came out, played it there, and then the sequel came out, and then eventually Munch's Odyssey came out, which was the reason I got an Xbox because that was going to be on PS2, and then Microsoft swooped in and stole it as an exclusive. So I was like, well, I guess I'm getting an Xbox now. So that's the reason I got that Xbox. And then there's Stranger's Wrath, which I really liked, which was really unique, a really interesting and unique type of game. Now there's Stranger's Wrath HD as well. So if you don't know what Stranger's Wrath is all about, you can get that on, I guess it was PS3 and Xbox 360. And I know they're working on another remake. They're going to do a remake of Abe's Exodus, which is the sequel to Odyssey. So after that, I hope they get to the next true Oddworld installment because I'll never forget it. The instruction booklet from the very first game said there were going to be 5 different separate journeys in the Oddworld universe that were all going to tie into one another. So the sequel to the original Oddworld was never planned. It's just the first one did well, and they worked on the sequel. And then there was Munch's Odyssey, which is the next one, and then there was Stranger's Wrath, which is the next one. So there should be 2 more in there. And Lorne Lanning was working on a movie at one point, and I don't know what happened with that, blah, 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 blah. But it's coming to Wii U. It's not dead, so I'm very happy to share that with you, and hopefully you guys are excited. When I posted my tease on Twitter, a couple of you picked up on it, not many. I said things in a certain way to hint at it being Oddworld, but only for fans of Oddworld, and a couple of you did get it. So congratulations, even though I couldn't tell you got it right.
Congrats to the Uber nerds.
It is the Uber nerds. I used a very specific word that I used the word rupture, which is a big word in the Oddworld, especially the first Oddworld game. I said I'm so excited. I said I'm so excited. I ruptured my anus. It's not true. I mean, the ruptured anus is true, but that's not what I said. So yeah, check out those screens, and we'll have news soon on the release date. Mr. Damon Baker, who is the who is the indie guy over at Nintendo. He's the one. He does other things as well, but he's the head one responsible for making all the indie deals and talking to the indie devs and getting them to bring their games to the Wii U and the 3DS. I talk to him on Twitter pretty often, and every time we post a story about him, there's only 1 or 2 pictures of him. So when I send out the tweet, it's one of the same pictures. And he tweeted me and he was like, I got to get a new picture out there. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm using the same one all the time. So he tweeted me a picture of himself like drinking a giant like mug of beer and eating a huge turkey leg.
Nice.
And I was like, all right, that's fine. So I use it now. And he was like, you're seriously using that? I was like, yeah, I needed a new picture. So check out the tweet because it's a really funny picture. He's talking about how well the Nindies at Home event went. That's the thing that went on during E3 where you could download all these demos for Wii U eShop games that are up and coming. And if you downloaded a demo, when the actual game comes out, you'll get, I think it's like 15% off the game. And he says Nintendo was really happy with both the data and the results from that event. Awesome to see how well received the program was on a global basis, and the numbers also helped us better understand the amount of awareness that was already out there for respective titles. For example, we knew that exclusives like Runbow, Typo Man, and Mutant Mud's Super Challenge would do great, but it was interesting to see how popular titles like Freedom Planet, Rive, and Soul Axiom were with the fans. Rive is really something special. If you missed out on that demo, look up footage on YouTube because it was a really cool demo. That's from Two Tribes, the Tokitori guys. He says there's a possibility that it could return in the future, another event like this, but he said it was a ton of work and they'd have to reorganize a whole bunch of things, but he's not saying no. He's just saying there'd have to be a lot of planning put into it. Then he's asked about the Humble Nindy Bundle, which was part of the Humble Indie Bundle, but it was all Nintendo-related games, and that did really well for him, but that was only in North America, not in Europe, and they want to change that. They said they're really proud of it. It went really well. And he says Nintendo's changing the way they think. They're a 126-year-old company, and sometimes it takes a lot of work to change some of the mentalities, but they're doing different things, and they're opening themselves up in ways that they haven't before. So look forward to more things like that. That's pretty exciting. I downloaded almost all the Nindies at Home demos. Obviously, I played Mutant Mud Super Challenge and Rive, like I said. Runbow is a 9-player multiplayer game if you're looking for a big multiplayer game to play. It beats out Smash Brothers by 1. And I think they're doing that in Australia now because there's some issue that they couldn't get it out in Australia at the time of E3, but it's out there now. So you had to wait a little bit longer, but now you can get it there. This week's European downloads. What did Europe get? They got Beat Buddy. So,
Just leave it at that.
Fine. Beat Buddy's available now. I was going to say it's a real long explanation, but it sounds better if I don't explain it. There's also Sanatory Hallways.
About my free time.
Sanatory Hallways is a 2-player game in which one character is Charla, a young student who is experiencing nightmares. The other player acts as Mr. Spook, a ghastly character who likes to frighten Charla by using one of his spook powers. I can't read this anymore.
Crazy. Between Beat Buddy and Mr. Racist.
Here we go. Something that makes sense. Star Fox Command, the DS game, is available on the Wii U Virtual Console, as is Donkey Kong Jungle Climber, the other DS game, the sequel to Donkey Kong. Oh boy.
King of Swing.
Yeah, you're right. That's it.
Really?
King of Swing. Yes, the GBA game. Lots of special offers on stuff. If you're into Dragon Ball, there's a Dragon Ball Z Extreme Budoden demo. So if you want to try out the fighting game for free, you can do that. And the full game has more than 120 playable characters because, you know, there's like a lot of characters in that franchise. It has a story mode, and it follows the original story of the manga. And there's an adventure mode, and obviously a versus mode because it's a fighting game. Blah, blah, blah. And it is, which is rare nowadays, it's a sprite-based fighting game, like old school fighting games were. I guess that just lends itself better to like Dragon Ball animation and stuff like that. Just makes more sense. Harvest Moon, what is this garbage? There's a whole bunch of DLC for Harvest Moon. There's Crop Set 1, Crop Set 2, new playable characters, male and, or non-playable characters, I'm sorry, male and female. So more people you can fall in love with. And new outfit set number 3 is available. A whole bunch of special offers, blah, blah, blah. That's your European downloads for the week. Let's see if anybody has anything good to say. First comment comes from Bemp Tui. He says, "Whoa, holy bats, such riches. Where do I start?" Well, that is way more positive than I thought, unless you're being sarcastic. The website for Super Mario Maker originally said there was going to be somewhere around 100 courses for the game, so 100 levels made by Nintendo and whoever else is over there making stuff. But now that was changed. The website took down that information and it said, "Please note that this page originally incorrectly stated that the game would contain 100 courses that you can play without an internet connection. They updated the page to say it will feature dozens of sample courses, but later in the week, we learned that it will feature somewhere around 60, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but somewhere around 60, so not that bad. And obviously, the point of the game is to make your own levels and to play levels that people have made. So having 60 already pre-made courses in there is pretty cool, but people online are going to make thousands of them, so hopefully they're good. And we found out this week that one of the levels is made by Michel Ancel.
Oh,
Mr. Ansel stopped by Nintendo to create a level that's going to be packed in with the game.
Isn't that great? He's had how many years to make Beyond Good and Evil 2, and he's doing this crap?
He can't. The poor man can't.
Yeah, right. The
He
poor man
wants to.
You know what? He should just retire. He should have retired after Beyond Good and Evil. He should have. He should have.
hurts.
What is he, in jail? He can't. Like, I don't
No,
understand
he's
this.
got that.
Can't you go online these days a bit like the Shenmue guy? He went online, he got what he needed in 24 hours.
All
Can't
right,
he
now
do
wait
that?
a minute. Let's look at how long it took the Shenmue guy to make his money. Like, that's been a long time.
Yeah, because he didn't think about going on whatever that website's called. Where
Kickstarter.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
You
the
didn't
other
think
thing
about
is
it.
we found out Sony was really, like, giving him money anyway. Sony was like, "Hey, here's our buddy. He's got a Kickstarter, Shenmue 3. You
All
guys
right,
do
well,
it."
I'm not-
Then it gets funded, and
Let's-
Sony's like, "We're giving him money
I'm
too."
not, I'm not saying that's right
just
either.
scuzzy.
But
Yeah, right?
yeah, of course,
Sony
it's
had
not right.
such a great thing.
It's like
Well,
I gotta
let's-
pay twice for this
We're
game.
talking about Ansel here. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey guys, help this man make his game. Give him millions of dollars, says the billion-dollar company. We're not going to tell you we're giving him money too until after you give him your money.
at least you're getting your Shenmue 3, buddy. We're never going to see Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm just saying
If
it
it's
now.
going
You're
to-
never going to see it.
If it's going the way Shenmue went, we still got a long way to wait, unfortunately. But he's working on that. He's working at the indie company that I guess is technically his, and they're working. I don't remember the name of the game,
Technically his.
but it looks pretty great.
And he still can't make what he wants.
Well, here's the thing. It's Ubisoft. They own the rights to that franchise. He created it, and it's his baby. But it's like Miyamoto and Mario. Like, Miyamoto can't say, like, "I'm taking Mario and going somewhere else," because Nintendo owns it.
Yeah, but it's also not like that, because if he went to Nintendo and said, "Hey, I'd like to do this," they'd be like, "Yes, sir.
Oh, yes,
Please let me
I
wash
agree with
your
that.
feet while you upend the table."
No, I agree with that. Ansel is definitely...
Well,
he
all right.
is the French Miyamoto, but
Maybe
he doesn't
I
get
sh-
treated with the same
Maybe I
respect.
should just be mad at Ubisoft and say that
Yes.
Ubisoft should be washing Ansel's feet.
That's what you should be saying. Yes, that's
agree with
the place to put your anger in, Ubisoft, definitely.
See,
Because they're like,
and-
no, you can't do Beyond Good and Evil 2, but we can do 3 more Assassin's Creeds and 4 more Tom Clancy
Yeah.
games.
and I'm the jerk that was buying those stupid Assassin's
I
Creed
heard
craps.
I heard the new Assassin's Creed is
The same? Excellent.
they said it's a welcome return to basics.
What's
Says not
what was
not
that?
Ubisoft, like people with hands on.
I don't even know what that means.
That's all I can tell you because I didn't read it because I am
Hope
not
that doesn't mean
interested
it's
in
going to be like
franchise.
the first game.
SD Secret
Right,
is the
the
first
first,
news
like-
on Beyond Good and Evil. He says it's coming back as a mobile game. It'll be free to play with microtransactions.
Man, I tell you.
SDC Hero says that
trying.
Beyond Good and Evil is coming to mobile, and it's going to be a card game.
Stop it.
That's what'll happen one
Is it
day.
April 1st?
Every time
Are
you take a
messing
picture,
with me,
you
or
have
is
That
to,
is not
there's a
true.
microtransaction.
What'd you say?
Every time you take a picture, there's a
That's
microtransaction.
Yeah, right. Beyond Good and Evil would like to access your pictures. Yeah, I don't know what's really going to happen with it, but something like that does seem likely. I mean, look at developers or not developers, the publishers 2 years ago. They were like, second screen experience. This is where it's at. Everybody's going to do that. They're like, this game connects to your tablet and your phone. It was in like every game, and Ubisoft has such a hard-on for it. Every game of theirs had something like that. And everybody's like, nobody wants this stuff. Why are you doing it? And they're like, way in the future. Now look at it. Nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing anything. Omicron Turtle says, having just replayed and 100% completed Super Mario World this past weekend, I'm itching to get creating. I'm excited to see what you can make, good sir. Oh man, you want to be angry here now? I got a reason to be angry.
I don't want to be angry. It's my nature. I get angry over dumb stuff.
Rare's co-founder, Tim Stamper of the Stamper Brothers, says he has no idea why Nintendo didn't try to buy Rare. He says, I've got no idea why Nintendo didn't do that. I thought we were a good fit. Yeah, I think they were a good fit too. I don't know why Nintendo let go of Rare. I don't know why Nintendo thought that was a good idea. I mean, Nintendo can make games great on their own, but they had such a great thing going with Rare. I don't get it, man. Microsoft snatched them up so quickly, and they've done nothing. It's so bad.
That's not true. They made that awesome.
I liked Cameo.
Yeah, if they had done nothing, it actually would have turned out better.
I think you're right. So they started off okay. Like, Grab by the Ghoulies isn't one of their best games, but I like that game. I thought Cameo was pretty damn good, huh?
Grab by the Ghoulies. You played that when we were in Wildwood.
Did I?
Yeah.
I think I remember watching you play that.
Quite a while ago.
the Ghoulies.
It's like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And there was Nuts and Bolts, which was great.
No denying that. They did Viva Pinata.
Oh,
But that also came out on DS, so I can't really count that one. But that was good. And then, like, everybody started leaving. And then Rare turned to, let's see what happened after that. Connect Sports.
Right, the Connect games.
They made Connect's Avatars.
They made that really great sequel to Banjo-Kazooie.
That's what he already said. He said they made Nuts and Bolts, and it was great. Here's the funny thing.
It's
So
what
I
all
bought
the fans wanted, I think.
I bought Rare Replay, their compilation thing, and it like 8 of the games in the collection you have to download separately from it. You don't pay for them. It gives you access to the downloads. So there's like Perfect Dark and Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie and stuff like that. What do you think the first one I went to download was? Nuts and Bolts.
Oh.
I said, no, I don't want that game. And it wouldn't stop. I could not get it to stop. Every time I stopped it, it started up again later. I'm like, I don't want this damn game. I wanted to have it so bad. I was trying to get Banjo-Kazooie, and it took me like a day to figure out how to actually stop the game so I could get the one I wanted. But then it downloaded it later anyway. So it's there. Really wants me to have it. Never going to play it. Never going to play it again. But anyway, yeah, Rare's been a shell of former self. Yep. And then Killer Instinct was announced, and they didn't even work on that. That's why Killer Instinct's good, because they're not working on it. And one of the Battletoads is getting added to Killer Instinct. I forget which one. It's not Pimple, I know that. Zitzer Rash, I don't know.
Was Pimple like
Ray.
the yellow one?
Ray. Pimple is the yellow one. Yeah, that's the only reason why I remember. Zitzer Rash, I don't know. Who's got sunglasses?
I want to say that's...
Whoever's got sunglasses, that's who it is.
I
thought that was Ray.
Yeah, maybe that was Ray. Like Ray Charles.
I was playing one of the older ones in the Rare Replay collection, and the title screen came up and all the names flashed by, and it said that, and I was like, "Oh, Ray!"
It looks a little like Ray, does it not?
No, now that we've had that whole joke, it only looks like Ray to me.
No, it is.
Simple and Ray.
Well, one of them really looked out when they picked their names. Wait, are the Battletoads like Double Dragon games on that?
Sadly, no, because that was with Trade West too.
Right.
So it has the original Battletoads and the Battletoads arcade game.
Oh, really?
Yes. Which I just played through all the way the other night. It doesn't have Double Dragon, and it doesn't have Battletoads and Battle Maniacs, the Super Nintendo game. Because that was Trade West as
the
well.
arcade game was pretty... Well, I never actually played it, but I saw like the attract screen, and it was cool because it had blood.
I was going to say, like,
the blood is cool.
The Battletoads arcade game, looking at it now, is like the perfect screenshot of what video games were like at that time. Like Mortal Kombat was around, everybody was into like blood and guts. So it has like lots of blood, and it's very like...
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
It's very like in your face, like
it
Ray.
makes sense if you turn like your leg into like a buzzsaw.
Yes,
and kick someone in the face.
that.
It's gonna like it's gonna cause some blood to spray.
When you're playing as Ray, like if you let him stand still for a second, his idle animation is looking at the camera and air humping, and he's like, ugh, ugh.
Nice.
And you
Totally
grab
in the
enemies
face.
by the nuts and like twist them and then
yeah.
punch them in the face. It's pretty fun. I mean, it's super ridiculously hard because it was an arcade game, so they want you to put in
Right.
like $1 million. But in this, it doesn't matter. You just keep hitting
Right.
continue. But yeah, it's fun.
You can hit
It's fun.
replay.
Very good. But anyway, yeah, I have no idea why Nintendo didn't purchase them, but the rest is history. You know how it goes.
Who
Yeah.
owns Double Dragon?
I believe Technos.
Right, because Trade West is they're not like they don't
As far as
exist
I know,
anymore,
yeah,
right?
Trade West isn't around anymore. Technos is the same company who did, Barf, River City Ransom,
Oh,
which they still make River City Ransom games. Well, they still make Double Dragon games.
Do they? Or is it-
Yeah, Way Forward did that one that I loved, Double Dragon Neon. I thought that was a great game. Like, side scroller, beat 'em up, really cheesy, awesome soundtrack. I really like that.
I didn't know they were
What
still
was that
making
on?
River City Rampage games.
There's a brand new River City Ransom game coming out in Japan, like in a couple months.
Oh yeah, I got it confused with Retro City Rampage.
When I type articles on the site, I do that all the time. What'd you say?
what system was the Double Dragon Neon? on?
360 and PS3. It might be on mobile now, for all I know. But yeah, I really liked it a lot, especially the soundtrack. But the gameplay is just beat 'em up with special moves. Like but it's like super cheesy, and Way Forward knows how to nail like that 80s cheesy style. It's not like, they're just doing it and trying to pander to people. Like, they do a really good job with it. Yeah, I really like that a lot. That was a lot of fun. First comment comes from Setzer, and he says, wait a minute, didn't Nintendo try to buy them but were outbid by Microsoft? I remember reading somewhere that the Stamper brothers went with Microsoft because of the money and didn't really consider organizational fit. Well, I don't know. Mr. Stamper seems to have a fuzzy memory then, if that's the case.
You don't know if that's true?
Now that he says that, I do remember that story, but this is the co-founder of Rare saying, I don't know why Nintendo... Maybe he's saying, like, I don't know why they didn't bid more money.
That's probably what it is.
That could be it.
Greedy guy.
I mean, like, yeah, Rare made games before Nintendo. Like, they made a lot of, like, ZX Spectrum games and stuff like that. Like, they weren't even called Rare. What the hell were they called? Some real stupid name. Oh, it's something like...
God, it makes me so mad.
It's like Ultra, Play the Game, or something dumb like that. I don't remember what it is. But yeah, they obviously put themselves on the map with Nintendo, and then their relationship grew exponentially in the 16-bit era, and then the 64 came around, and it was like their best work ever. Think about all the great games they put out on the 64. Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64, Blast Corps, Jet Force Gemini, a whole bunch of great stuff. Nintendo says that they don't ignore the world around them, and they listen to what fans want. This is Nintendo's Scott Moffat. He says, I would never say we're blind to the outside world, but we listen to our game fans a lot. We're always curious to see the reaction to new games like Splatoon. We don't use them as our sole inspiration, but we certainly like to hear what they're saying, enjoying, and appreciating about a game, in addition to what they would like in future iterations of that game. We take a broad look and always pay attention to what is going on beyond our walls with trends, but it starts with listening really carefully to our gamers.
I'm sorry. You were right. It was a terrible name. It was Ultimate Play the Game.
There you go. Ultimate Play the Game. What kind of name is that? Like, is their name just Ultimate and the tagline is Play the Game? Because the logo always says Ultimate Play the Game, like the whole thing.
Yeah, there's no punctuation.
Yeah, I know.
or anything.
I know. First comment comes from the Dreaming Hawk, and he says, as long as they keep ignoring the rude spammers on their social media, they should be fine. Yeah, that's, par for the course. That's what happens
That's good
with
advice
social media.
for anyone, with a Twitter account.
Anyone that goes on the internet ever.
Oh yeah, don't feed the trolls.
There's a Nintendo Treehouse member, Chris Pranger, who's been talking about how apparently Nintendo's rules have changed a bit with their Treehouse people, and they're letting them talk a little bit more without actually getting like the okay from Nintendo, which I'm sure will change soon. But for now, we get some interesting details. He talked about Nintendo and their policies and localization and all that jazz. He says Nintendo's media policy has recently changed regarding employees being able to talk more about their work, and he says they like using a lot of their Treehouse people as voices in their games when they see fit, like Star Fox. And for example, Mr. Pranger says he's the voice of the first level boss in the upcoming Star Fox Zero. And he's also working on the game, obviously. Nintendo has a game library where employees can check out games for all systems in order to be well-versed in gaming. So Nintendo wants to make sure their people know about what's going on with other systems and games. So they have a nice library for renting games. And he also wants to point out that Mr. Sakurai kills himself for his games, and he's extremely sensitive to fan feedback. That poor guy. He's going to work himself to an early grave. There was a article with him and Famitsu, and he was talking about not only how hard he works on his games, but how like one comment on the internet can like destroy him. He'll be like so proud of like something he did in Smash Brothers, and then he'll see somebody say like, "Why is Lil Mac in this game? Nobody cares about him." And Sakurai's like, "Well, I'm gonna blow my brains out."
This game plays like a fart.
Yeah, just imagine like how mean people are on the internet and how sensitive this guy is, and he's like literally working his hands to like claw shapes because he cares about the game so much and wants to make fans happy, and then you have assholes harassing him online. But he still does it. About localization, they say it obviously costs a lot of money, and often there will be a vocal minority of fans who want a game localized, but it's not enough to warrant actually localizing games. So like with Captain Rainbow, that's a great example. I would have loved to have seen Captain Rainbow come out in North America, but it didn't. And I understand that I am part of a vocal minority on that. I know it's not a game that people, a majority of Wii owners would have purchased. It's just too weird.
It makes them uncomfortable.
Wait, a game called Captain Rainbow is weird?
It's made by Nintendo, too. It was a game about, like, Captain Rainbow, like, helps people, like, find their heart. Like, here's an example.
At the end of the rainbow?
Here's an example. Little Mac from Punch-Out is in the game, and he's, like, 800 pounds. And he's like, I haven't fought in years. I need help, so Captain Rainbow comes in to like help train him and bring him back to like his fighting weight and blah blah blah. But it's obviously with the name Captain Rainbow, it's a very weird game. But whatever. There's a fan translation. We have No, it's okay.
Derailed.
I think I got it. See if the check mark goes up. So yeah, stuff like that just isn't going to come here. And we were lucky to get...
not with that attitude, it's not.
We were lucky to get Xenoblade Chronicles because that wasn't going to come here either. And Nintendo of Europe was like, we'll foot the bill. You can bring it over here. So that's why when we got it, it had the European voice work instead of, specifically voice actors from North America. But we got it, and now we're getting a sequel. So that's that. You're not going to get every game you want. And that's why people want systems that aren't region locked, so we can still have a chance to play those games. And at least Nintendo has acknowledged that, so there's a chance. G-Man, sir, I was avoiding that story. DJ Riv says, "Oh man, what I would do to have a dive into that library." G-Man sir is bringing up another story from Captain Rainbow. There's a mission in it where you are with Birdo and you find Birdo's dildo. All of this is true.
Is Dildo Birdo's child's name? Birdo and
Come on,
Dildo?
little dildo. There's a joke in like Super Paper Mario about a very like vague joke, but it's obvious. If you're an adult, like Warner Brothers cartoons had like
adult
jokes for adults, but kids wouldn't pick up on them. There's a joke in Super Paper Mario about Princess Peach's dildo or vibrator or something, but if you're a little kid, you're not going to notice that stuff. Well, Birdo's gotten like terrible treatment ever since they brought that game over here. It's Nintendo's very uncomfortable talking about Birdo, basically.
But terrible treatment for Birdo. Personally, I think Birdo is
I don't
lucky
mean like
to be even mentioned at all. I mean, God, you played Super Mario 2. It's ridiculous, that thing.
You know who's gotten terrible treatment? Wart. You know how bad I want Wart in another game? Every time a new Mario game is announced, I'm like, Bowser, just step aside one more time. Just let Wart come in here.
It'd be cool if we had a Wart game and then maybe Wart and Bowser team up.
Right?
Or something like
Exactly.
Like, that writes itself. Birdo.
It does.
I don't even, and I like Birdo just because she I think.
He's weird.
It's weird. Like, real weird. But, like, come on. Like, Birdo's lucky to be even mentioned past Super Mario 2. I mean, whoever was on the LSD when they made that game.
That's the other crazy thing. Like, Super Mario 2, we all know, wasn't originally a Mario game, but so many of the characters in that game have gone into many other Mario games.
That's true.
Like Shy Guys.
Shy Guys everywhere.
Shy Guys and...
But you never see that little white bird thing that like, it's basically the other Shy Guy. You know, the little, he's like, he hops.
Oh, I
every
got
third
you.
hop.
I got you. Yeah, he's in like the first
You
couple levels.
You
Yes.
never see that weird thing anywhere.
I don't think we have. You're
You
right.
see the turnips.
Turnips, yep. I mean, they're in Smash Brothers, among other things.
Are
But
those little ninja guys and any other
Ninjas, the
Mario-
Ninjas. Yes, I think they're in Super Mario 3D World.
Oh, they are.
G-Man Sir says, honestly,
Oh,
do I
those
think
stars.
Birdo is
Those-
hot? You know, it has nothing to do with who Birdo is. That's I don't even
Or what
not
Birdo
even
is.
what Birdo is. But no, I don't find Birdo attractive. I I have no problems admitting when I find an animal attractive, but I don't even know what
we
Birdo
know.
is to say if he or she is
It's like
attractive.
no
So.
Crystal from Star Fox.
Well, the name
Am I right?
doesn't help in any way.
Yeah, right. But bombs, there you go. There's another one that are in other Mario games. Yeah. The snake guy, I forget his name. He hasn't been in anything else. The three-headed snake and Fry Guy hasn't. Fry Guy might have. Fry Guy might have been in something.
He went to work for McDonald's.
It just fit. Square Enix has released an official statement on them considering Dragon Quest 10 and 11 for the NX. R42, I'm going to bring that up in a second. They say, our press release contained the official statement that had been originally planned, and there is no reason to believe any changes were made midway to the content of the official announcement. The comment made during the event was not based on an official statement, so please allow us to correct our statement at this moment. We regret any confusion that this may have caused. During the event, they said they're doing Dragon Quest 11 and 10 for the NX, and afterwards they were like, we meant considering. We're just considering. So we already know they're doing it, but now we got to pretend like they're not. So their statement, their damage control isn't working. But if you want to believe it, go right ahead. G-Man Sir says, E3 2016 will be one of the most awaited E3s for Nintendo in years. This pleases my blank nipples. I do want Wart badly. R42 said something. I want to get back to it. R42. He says on one of the most recent Bombcast episodes, they had a discussion as to whether Birdo's face hole is a mouth or a nose.
It's kind of like, what's his name on Family Guy? The big hole. You're like, is that a hole or a nose?
Brian?
Yeah. You look at it.
I've seen the comparisons between Brian and Birdo. So, it's a mouth.
I
It's a
assumed
mouth.
it was a
Eggs
She
come out of
shoots
it.
eggs out of it. Yeah, you wouldn't shoot eggs out your nose.
And it like
That's just
odd
weird.
moves. Like it moves more than a nose moves.
And
Like
there's also that noise. That's coming out of the mouth, not
Like,
the nose. No, there's clearly like a woo to it. Play the noise, damn it. Look it up.
my computer's at maximum capacity right now.
I don't care what it is on Birdo. I love Birdo no matter what.
I mean,
we're gonna skip that.
You've got to have a mouth. You know, you can breathe out of your mouth.
That's a
but you
very
can't
good
eat with
point.
your nose.
That's a very good
I mean, I
point.
guess you can.
I guess
but
you
it-
could eat with your nose. Oh, that's the
That's the
more recent Birdo
Yeah,
noises.
I couldn't stop it, so actually still can't.
But that's a mouth. That's coming out of a mouth.
Coming out of Charles Martin Hayes' mouth.
We did the on-world stuff. Oh, what is this? What time are we at? All right. Mr. Tanabe and Nintendo talked a bit about Metroid Prime Federation Force as well as Metroid in general, because lots of people want a new traditional Metroid game, and Nintendo hasn't
Oh
said
yeah, how about the blowback from that thing, huh? I mean, I know you're excited for
one of
it.
the biggest fan movements I've seen negatively for Nintendo in a long time. I can't think of anything that's like that. If the internet was around, or I should say, if the internet was much more prevalent when Wind Waker was announced, that would have blown it away by far. But
Oh.
the internet wasn't like it is now back then. That would have been the.
I wish you didn't say that because I was all in the mood to bash this new Metroid, and I love Wind Waker. So now,
Go ahead.
I
You
might
go
not.
right ahead.
Well, I mean, come on, look
I
at
mean,
that
that wasn't
crap,
that long
especially
ago.
after Other M, and then they're gonna pull this crap on everybody. I mean, it looks like a game that was made 10 years ago. First of all, second of all, it's on DS, where Metroid Prime Hunters was
3DS.
like one of their worst versions of the game. And they're going to go back to the 3DS, and now I'm expected to bring my 3DS to friends' houses and play. Like, no, we're in an age where we're playing on big screen TVs. I'm sorry. And we're playing it online. And guess what, Nintendo? We can talk to our friends. We just can easily link up with them. We don't need to put in a friend code and freaking all this stuff. How long have I had the Wii U? Have we ever played online? Have I ever talked to you online? No. Have we ever gone on PlayStation Network and just like chatted, even if we're not even playing a game? Yes, in a second. So why can't they get this right?
Well,
I'm bringing up a couple of issues
I was
here.
gonna say,
Online
let me
and
address your issues one at a time.
and Metroid looking terrible.
I play Wii U online probably about as much as I play other systems, but you won't play any of those games, so I don't know what to do.
Oh, I won't. When have I ever been invited to play a game online with you on the
I
Wii U?
play Splatoon a lot, and you won't play Splatoon.
I don't
I
have
also play
Splatoon.
Mario Kart, and you won't. I don't know why you won't play
I'd
that.
play that with you. I would.
All right, well then let's play it.
Let's do it. What
And
do I
we
have to
can
do?
talk to
Do
each
I have to
other.
like write
Hurry
down
up
a
and go home.
100-digit number, or
Are you
like
my friend on there?
what's your 900-digit number that I have to type
Are
in?
you my friend on there?
And can I put my phone on speakerphone so we can talk to each
We
other
can talk to each other.
while we do it?
We can talk to each other
Via phone or via
via Wii U.
Wii U?
What's a Wii U? And also, Metroid Prime Hunters was pretty well received on DS.
Not by me.
Not
by me.
I was talking about overall. And with Federation Force, I don't know if you're talking about graphics or gameplay, and that has online play.
Well, it better, because that seems like the only reason to play it. Why
It's a
would you ever?
multiplayer-focused game.
Yeah, why would you ever play that game alone? I mean, it's like we got to make fun of it together, right? Because I mean, that's all it's going to be good for. You've seen it, right?
I disagree, but
Have you seen footage of it?
welcome to your opinion. Yes, I have.
I don't know. It looks bad. No.
Well, I don't know what part you're talking about because there's two parts, and I'm thinking you only
Oh,
saw
my
one
God.
part.
I don't know, man. Because if I say graphics, I'm going to be like,
No,
oh,
whatever. I don't think the graphics are good either. I'll agree with you on that, but you know I don't care about graphics. But I agree the
But here's
graphics
the
are
thing: you were
lackluster.
so upset, you were so excited, and then so upset by Other M. You think you'd want them to like come back to their roots and knock it out of the park? And I'm
Oh, I
not saying
do.
make the same, like make a remake or anything, but like, you know, there's things that were working forever. Why change it up for something that looks like I ate oops all berries and then diarrheaed it all over the screen?
Here's the difference. Metroid Other M bothered me so much because it was a mainline Metroid game. This is not a mainline Metroid game. It's a spin-off, so I don't care what they do.
Well, then I can agree with that. If it's not a main game, then don't call it Metroid. Call it Spaceoids or something. And like,
Well, there are four words in the title, and three of them aren't Metroid.
yeah, and that's fine. And that's fine. If you put it that way, I get less mad. But still, it's almost insulting then, because it's kind of like, well, we know the game's probably not that great. Let's slap Metroid's name on it, and we'll sell a little bit more.
Well, that
So it's kind of insulting in that way.
I don't know happened, but I can't disagree that
Metroid,
Well, you're
the
not the
name
only-
is going to sell.
you're not the only one to say that, definitely. But on the flip side, look at Splatoon. That's a brand new everything, not related to any Nintendo franchise, and that's doing extremely well. So, there's an
Right.
argument to be made on both
Well,
ends.
that's
But
good, but
you
we're
and I
not
will never
talking
know.
about Splatoon. We're not like. I'm glad that they're having success with Splatoon. I'm glad that people like it.
R42 says poops all berries.
That's actually what it should be
That's
called.
pretty great. Yes, and G-Mancer also brings up the point that at the time Retro didn't want to work on another Metroid Prime game.
Why has it got to be retro? Why can't we get Nintendo to do it? They did it originally, right? So
Well,
freaking make
Nintendo
your own
worked on-
games, Nintendo.
Nintendo worked on Prime and Prime 2 and Prime 3. It's just they did them with Retro.
That's fine. So Retro doesn't want to do it. They're over it. I get it.
Oh, back when the hell did Corruption come out? I mean, now I'm sure is a different story. But they,
Maybe.
you work on the same franchise 3 games in a row. You want to take a break, and they did. They did 2 Donkey Kong games. So by now they've seen how much fans want another Prime, basically.
It doesn't even have
And,
to
you know,
be
it's gotta be
Prime.
exciting.
It could be what other M should have been or something. You know, it could be anything.
You know, I wish I could go back in time and somehow play a version of Metroid Other M where the story's not in it, because then I want to see how I'd feel. Because I didn't mind the gameplay. It had some issues, but I really didn't. I liked it, but the story does so much damage to the character and the franchise that it's unbelievable. Like that, I've told the story a whole bunch of times. That was my first comment coming out of like the special press event, as in a darkened, curtained off booth. They gave you like your own little thing to play. No one else was around except one person watching you. And after
That's
I went
not
out,
weird.
I came out there to some people from Nintendo and I said, "Is that voice work final?" And they were like, yeah, that's what's going to be in the game. I said, "I'm not trying to be mean, but it's really bad. Like, it's real bad." And they're like, "Okay, we'll make a note of it." They made a
only
note and then
listen
they didn't
to
do
you.
anything with
They
it.
should do what
They never gave
I
the
will
note to
never
anybody.
forget that moment, because I was talking to other people and everybody was like, "What you think of Metroid?" And you could just tell other people were like, "Something's up." I was
Waiting
like,
for you to say
man,
something so they didn't feel like
I
they
was
were the
like,
ones.
you know, I'm
trying to
happy I
send
got
it.
to play it early, but that
They should do what Destiny did with Dinklage. Re-record that crap with someone good.
you know, that wouldn't even help because the story's so bad. It would help somewhat, but they need to
Yeah.
fix it. But yeah, erasing Dinklage from Destiny is a great idea. I mean, Nolan North has your new whatever that thing is.
Is that going to be a download that you just download, or do you have to buy like the DLC to get non-Dinklage
question.
content?
I don't know, because he's re-recording all the old stuff too. So maybe there will be an update to like
Yeah, I
erase
thought it would
Dinklage
be an update.
sans the expansion pack, but the expansion pack has all that plus new Nolan North for the Taken King, like whatever. What is that thing called?
What is what thing called?
Your Dinklage. What's it called? Whatever your Dinklage is.
My Dinklage? The
no,
ghost.
like in the game,
Oh,
the
the
ghost.
ghost.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Your ghost has a lot more
I
to
wish
do.
I had a Dinklage.
Your ghost has a lot more to do in the
My
Taken King, so Nolan North has brand new things to say. But yeah, you know, I don't feel bad about that at all. Peter Dinklage was garbage in that game.
Well, and he's also in that new, like, I haven't seen it, but I'm not going to see it.
Pixels?
Yeah, I mean, that is another affront,
I
I
mean,
feel,
has
to
he-
I have
any
not
video
seen
game
it.
lover. Like,
I will not knock it, but I will say it does not look like his finest work.
I mean, and Dinklage is probably the best part of that movie. I can imagine that it's
Well, he
just
said
an
he based his
like an
character
affront to
off
all.
of, you know, Billy Mitchell, the guy from the King of Kong. So, like, I love that guy. So, seeing
No.
Dinklage act like that guy.
Hopefully there's
is
hot
okay.
sauce in
Wait.
it.
Yeah, right. But you know, it's Adam Sandler, the king of making crap movies that make money. Everybody can complain about him all they want, but Adam Sandler has nailed
Yeah.
the perfect amount of doing nothing for a movie while still doing something and making money on it. Everybody pooped all over Pixels. It cost $80 million to make. It made $120 million so far. He's making money for them. That's why he keeps making
Well, that's
movies.
because there's a
That's
whole
the real
bunch of
event.
idiots between New York and LA
It's a
that
lot of
have no
parents,
idea what they're doing.
Right? Who are like, Adam Sandler is funny.
Oh,
you know
Let's
what I
bring
think
the
it is?
And they
kids."
all have 50 kids, and they're like, gotta buy a ticket for every damn kid.
Yep.
You know what I think
Stop
it is?
having kids and stop going to crap movies.
Yeah,
R40
amen. Amen.
Thank you for saying.
R42 says, "What's your Dinklage's name?" Best quote of the show. But I think a lot of, yes, there are parents that bring, you know, if you're a parent and your kid wants to go, well, you know, if I had a kid and they were like, "Take me to Frozen," I'd take them to Frozen. I'm not going to tell them, like, "No, that
Well,
movie
good,
looks
because
stupid."
I'm not going to be the one to take them to Frozen.
Because like the parents, they just like look and see whichever movie is rated PG or G, and they like.
What am I gonna
shove
do
it
with
in
my
there.
And I
kids
think
for
that
an
might be
hour and
Shut
a
them up
half?
for an hour
I think
and a
that
half.
might be PG-13. But the other thing
Oh,
is
yeah.
there's
And
a
we are not
lot
buying
of
food there. I am bringing juice boxes.
there's a lot of
And
Sandler
bags of
fans
Cheerios.
who
Raisins.
are living in Sandler's past, and it's, you know what, Adam Sandler is the Sonic of the movie industry.
Aw,
He had
that's a little harsh.
Adam Sandler had funny movies in the beginning of his career. Sonic had great games in the beginning of his career. Then it's just riding the Sandler wave or riding the Sonic wave. It's just like
Oh, so,
farting out another one,
so there's,
farting out
you're
another
saying
one.
there's a Sandler cycle.
Yes, there it is. Well, let's see. Have you? I don't know that like in the last 10 years I've seen an Adam Sandler trailer and I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? That could be kind of good. With Sonic games, I get sucked in like that. I'm like, looks like it'll be okay. Sandler movies, no. But this one just hurts so much more because, you know, it's tied to stuff that we like.
Well,
He's
they
going
must
there,
have had to
pooping on
pay for some of these characters, right? There's a lot of real video game characters in the game,
It's
in
all
the
real
movie,
video
right?
game characters. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's Nintendo characters in there.
Donkey Kong's in it.
Like, that's BS.
I don't know. Well, all right. So here's what I know: Donkey Kong is in it. Pac-Man is in it.
Tetris.
Tetris is in it.
Space Invaders.
Space Invaders and Centipede and Millipede. That's in it. So like it fits in with the era, but yeah, I don't know why Nintendo was like, okay, yeah, use Donkey Kong. That's cool. Like they allowed their characters to be used in Wreck-It Ralph, which makes much more sense, and I've heard is a
good
much better
movie.
movie. You've seen it?
Yeah, I like that movie.
I liked it too.
And Nintendo was like, you can't use Mario. We don't want you to use Mario. Like, you can have Bowser. And I wanted to see how it went. And if it went well, then Nintendo's going to be more open to using Mario. And they're definitely doing a sequel. John C. Reilly said the sequel's greenlit. It's coming. And they said they were only doing a sequel if they could get Mario in it. So I'm sure Mario's going to be in it the next time around. But yeah, I mean, that from my understanding, that did a good job with the characters. Like, who else is in it? Zangief is in it.
Yeah, no, that the whole movie,
Dr.
every
Robotnik.
character that was used very well, and it felt like it was
Hubert.
made by
Thank you,
people who
Vanessa.
loved video games too.
Yeah.
Whereas I bet you, and I hate telling tales out of school because I haven't seen Pixels and I'm not gonna, but not a single person on that damn movie set played a video game in their life.
From all the trailers and everything, it certainly looks like that.
Oh my
And the person
God.
who did was like,
I'm sure like Adam
You know.
Sandler has been in an arcade and has played video games, but I don't know how like important those things
Well,
were
his
to
buddy
him.
did that movie Grandma's Boy, and like it's like, yeah, like you're a stoner that plays video games, but I still don't believe that you like create video games in this movie.
Did you
But
see Grandma's Boy?
yeah, but I mean, like,
Is it good?
Did we watch
No.
it for movie?
no, it's not good.
Everybody has told me you have to see Grandma's Boy, and I know
Everybody's
it's about
wrong.
video games.
It's not.
but
It's not a good movie.
It didn't look like it
it's
was.
stupid. I don't know why people like. But I've only heard good things about it myself.
Well,
So when people bring it up, I just keep my mouth shut. Usually, I don't know why I'm telling it on the podcast. But I'll always be like, "Yeah, I saw it. It's all right. Whatever."
well, they're still looking for that magical moment where they make a good video game movie that breaks through, and then we'll have like the comic book rush like we're having right now. I just don't know what's going to be the.
do you really want that to happen though? I mean,
I don't see it.
Would I like there to be good video game movies? Yes, I would very much like that. So our next bets coming up are, Hitman's right around the corner. That got a sequel. I didn't see the first one.
I mean, come on.
Did you see the first one?
No, but come on.
Must have made enough money to make a sequel. The Resident Evil franchise is coming to an end. Sadly, I know that's important to us. Each one has made more money than the last.
Which is also amazing, even though I go for one reason alone.
I think after the first movie, everybody realized, like, okay, this is like a very campy take on Resident Evil. So,
Oh, the movies are coming to an end
yes, the next movie is the last movie.
until the next one.
Well, if they get someone, everything gets rebooted and all that. I'm sure Sony's not going to be like, well, we had 7 successful movies. I guess we'll stop here. They're not going to do that because they're so cheap to make. They'll just have to get somebody else to do them because what's his face? Mila's husband, whatever his name is, he's not doing them anymore. Paul W.S. Anderson,
Yeah, not
I
to be
believe is
confused.
his name.
With Wes Anderson.
Just missing that one letter. What other video game movies are coming out? Assassin's Creed. And The Rock. Here's our best chance. The Rock. Number one.
His return.
11 number one box office movies in a row. He's doing Rampage the movie.
Wait, really?
I am serious.
With
Yeah.
the monster?
You got it. He is doing Rampage. And this isn't like, here's an inside scoop for you. This is like announced by him. It's definitely happening.
So he's not going to be one of the monsters.
He will not be one of them. I believe he'll be playing a character that gets eaten off the toilet, if I remember how the game's played. Yeah, he's going to be the guy that saves the day. But yep, Rampage, a video game, because Rampage is so hot nowadays.
That's
Why
ridiculous.
Rampage now? I don't get it.
Well, it's right up
That
your
game's
alley. You
fun.
like that Pacific Rim, so you'll be real excited for
Hey,
this Rampage.
I loved Pacific
Pacific
Rim.
know
Rim
you
was
did.
fun.
Everybody liked it.
Still haven't seen
Everybody.
it.
I can't think of one
And I
person
liked-
that didn't like
I
that
liked
movie.
Godzilla, too.
Yeah,
I
you
like
did.
Godzilla.
Yeah, everybody liked it. Can't think of one person that didn't like
I
that
think you
either.
just don't like movies about big things.
I hate big things. All right, the smaller the better.
You
I
know
want to
I
go.
hate big
I want to go see
But-
Ant-Man.
but
Let's
wait,
go.
you-
I thought that.
But you like Attack on Titan. That's all about big things.
Well, that is true, but you have
Those
to
things
admit,
are weird, though,
Attack
those
on
big
Titan is a little different take
Yes,
on the
I'll agree
freaking
with
big
that.
thing
Just
category.
a little different. Yes, I
Holy
agree with
crap! And I watched that live action trailer. That looks creepy. I mean,
that.
I
Yeah,
don't,
right.
it's never going to be as good, but I don't know. It's creepy.
So that's your one big thing movie.
It's my one, but it's
Hey,
it's
hey,
a
if
show.
you don't like big thing movies, that's cool.
Wait,
But the thing is, like, I don't know.
There's one big
that's
thing
another.
is big things.
It's big thing.
Yeah.
It's big things.
I got big thing. It's big
so
things.
I'm gonna guess you didn't like Cloverfield.
Oh
You
god,
know,
that movie made me so
I couldn't
sick.
even get through like
Yeah.
10 minutes because I was getting a headache.
Yeah,
That,
We
like,
saw that in the
very-
theater.
yeah,
That was terrible.
nauseating.
For Luke, for his birthday, brought us all to the motion
The
sick
multiplex.
movie.
yeah, all that.
Well, that was a great tangent. I had a lot of fun
Guerrilla footage.
talking about whatever the hell we were talking about. But, let
Yeah,
me
sorry
just-
that I got off on a tangent.
No,
there,
please.
but,
That's what the show's about.
That's what I do.
Pixels,
Oh,
right?
right, because of your
Those
dick
Metroids.
pictures.
I talk crap
Because,
about stuff I don't know about.
Pooping out video games, diarrhea video games.
Poops all berries.
But yeah, you're excited for that game.
Yeah, I am. But then there's the other part of it. I'm excited because it looks a lot like. I mean, I love co-op experiences, and it looks a lot like Monster Hunter to me, and I'm a Monster Hunter fan, so that's another aspect I have going for me. All right, North America, this week's digital downloads. New DLC for Smash Brothers. It includes, there's free stuff, and the free stuff includes KK Slider costume for your Mii Fighters, plus the new community tournament mode and regular tournament mode, plus the ability to upload saved replays directly to YouTube. Players can also purchase new Mii Fighter costumes from Samus Armor to a Smash Brothers logo hoodie, as well as Peach's Castle and Hyrule Castle. The classic N64 stages are now playable in Smash Brothers Wii U. That's pretty cool. Splatoon update. Version 2.0 is now out there. The biggest update yet. 2 new modes, Squad Battle and Private Battle. There are also new weapons. The level cap has been increased. There are more than 40 new types of gear and some new weapons as well. And there's more stuff to come throughout the summer, says Nintendo. 3DS eShop got Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold, The Fafnir Knight. Pokemon Rumble World has gotten an update. Virtual Console. Nintendo says all throughout August, classic games for hardcore gamers are coming to the Virtual Console on Wii U, starting with these gems. Golden Sun, The Lost Age, is available on the Wii U Virtual Console. And Onimusha Tactics, there's a franchise Capcom hasn't done anything with in forever. The GBA game is also available on Wii U Virtual Console. Citizens of Earth got a price reduction. It went from $15 to $5. That happens August 10th. Lots of other sales.
It's funny how certain franchises will get run into the ground, and then others they'll stop like they don't even try to run it into the ground. Like
For every Resident Evil, there's a Dino Crisis.
yeah, why didn't they make more Onimushas? Why aren't there more Double Dragons? I feel like these are things that they should have long since run into the ground. And it sounds sad to say that. Like I'd rather have run into the ground games than not any game
Well, there's
at
no
all. But
middle ground. It's either make so many that you ruin the franchise, or don't make enough to.
and then people
what they
clamor
want. Yeah.
for another one, and it never comes.
But then, that's what happens. It's like what we were talking about with Beyond Good and Evil. So Onimusha, we haven't had a regular one in a long time, but since then there's been Onimusha card games and stuff like that.
Well,
why?
when I played the first Onimusha, the only thing I thought is I wish I could have this in card game form digitally, and they did it for me.
Well, I'm happy to
So,
tell you that.
Yeah, so that's great. It's great.
So yeah, Onimusha was a big franchise for them. I don't know what happened. Maybe the last one just sold so poorly that there's no others. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard it was their 5th or 6th biggest selling
Yeah.
franchise.
When you look at every time Capcom puts out their fiscal results, they have a list of all their big sellers, and that's still in the top 10 as far as I remember. But why do your number 7th best-selling title when you can do another Resident Evil and another Street Fighter?
That's true.
And Capcom's the king of 6 versions of one game in one generation of systems.
Oh,
Super Street Fighter 3 Turbo Championship Edition Fighting Hyper Tournament, whatever. And all those words have been in there.
Yep.
There's an Art Academy Home Studio contest going on right now. You get a chance to win a $20 eShop card. New themes this week include an Eterno Blade theme, Puzzle & Dragon Super Mario Bros. Edition theme, price reductions on A-Train 3D, City Simulator, and Shin Megami Tensei 4. Also new this week, Astral Breakers, which is on Wii U. It's a puzzle game. Kung Fu Fight, Best of Arcade Games, Brick Breaker, and Tetraminos. Those are both on 3DS. The game everyone's been waiting for, Japanese Rail Simulator 3D, Journey to Kyoto.
Is it the one with the cat?
And if you're still, oh, maybe you'll see him. Yeah, that's true.
It's got to be a cat. It's Japanese.
If you're on the fence about buying that, there is a free demo. Jewel Quest 4, Heritage, and Picross E6. So there actually are some good puzzle games in there. Oregano says Capcom is just Monster Hunter, Resident Evil nowadays. Seems like it. But Monster Hunter is good, so I'm okay with that.
And Resident Evil is bad, and I'm not okay with that.
Gaibon says, it is a DLC bonanza. This pleases my DLNs. Downloadable nipples. We don't need to do that because that happened. I already talked about that. Oh, we're late. And we're done. All right, what Kirby? What have you been playing?
Oh yeah. Well, I can't even remember. Did I mention on the show before that I had bought a PS4 finally?
I don't know if you mentioned that on the show. I think you might have.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I bought a PS4. The only thing I've really been playing recently is Batman: Arkham Knight. I'm getting close to the end of the main storyline, yeah, I like it. It looks great. It's fun to play. It's got plenty to do.
It certainly has plenty to do.
Yeah, the story is kind of a mess, but
but it's a comic book game. That's how they go.
Yeah, and it's a video game as
yes,
well.
That's also equally true.
There are some parts where you're in like the bat tank, like some of those parts of the game where you're like doing tank battles and stuff. That some of that dragged on a little longer than I would have liked, but overall, yeah, I'm enjoying it.
So that's what you've been playing.
Pretty much. I did play a little bit of. Oh yeah, I might have mentioned I played a little bit of The Witcher 3 when I first picked up the system. So yeah, hopefully once I'm done with Arkham Knight, I can get back to that.
So you have Arkham Knight, which is a huge game, and then Witcher 3, which is a ginormous game.
It's like the biggest game ever. Yeah.
Yeah, all the games I got for the PS4 so far are like huge.
Yes, massive amounts of time needed to see everything.
Yeah, and of course I'm gonna get like Fallout 4 when that comes out.
Well, at least you have some time.
Hopefully.
John Savage, what have you been playing?
Not too much, but I've been playing Kerbal Space Program still.
Oh, how's that going?
It's going pretty well.
The official version 1.0 is out, right?
Yes. And it's actually been out for a while, and it was out even when I went away on my trip. But so I've played it more since I'm home. But yeah, that's a time sink.
That's what I've heard.
I've got over 600 hours into the game.
I really do
It's pretty good.
want to play it, but first off, my laptop couldn't run it.
Yeah.
I would like to play it I don't want to. I sit in my office all the time for work. I don't want to sit in there more to play something.
I play it on my laptop, and it's pretty hard on my laptop. It gets really hot.
I'm gonna have to get a new laptop when I do. I'm sure then I'll be able to play it, and it's gonna be a terrible idea.
Yeah,
I know I'll be addicted to it.
I haven't really even put any mods on it too, and that usually makes it run even hotter. So I got to move it back to the desktop because I'll probably kill my laptop.
Yeah, right. Well, like this one, the noises this thing makes now. But yeah, I will play it eventually. And I'm sure it will be the beginning of the end.
There's a serious learning curve. So,
but that's what makes it fun.
You'll be getting lots.
I was just talking about
things
that.
Explode.
I was talking about that today or this week on the site. I did an end of day thought about how games baby people nowadays so much, because I've been seeing a lot of older games now, and I've been seeing people play those games that never played those games, and the majority of games today, especially if they're released by traditional publishers, you don't have a moment where you figure out what you need to do. Something is always telling you where to go or what to do. There's a radar. There's an on-screen indicator. There's somebody in your ear talking. The main character is saying oh, maybe I should go over here. they tell you exactly what to do all the time, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah, well, Kerbal Space Program, it's like if you play the career mode, I mean, there's tutorials you can play that are not part of the game.
Yeah.
But when you actually go out to do your launches, you have to design everything yourself. There's a contract that you got to fulfill, but it's up to you to figure out how you meet all those points.
Sort of
Yeah,
like
see,
real life.
that I appreciate. Like, I like letting it. Like, I don't mind there being an option for help if you need help. Like, for people that want help, that's completely fine. But I don't want that in there right from the beginning, especially without an option to turn off. Like, let me try things on my own first.
Yeah. I mean, they
not
could have
really
done a little
bad.
better job with the technology progression in the new game. But I like kind of the way it
But I
was.
still put 600 hours.
Yeah. Well, most of that was put into the prior version. But
How long has, like, version 1.0 been out?
maybe end of April.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a
So,
good amount of time.
I mean, they've patched it a couple times, and every time they do that, the game becomes different. So that's
Mhm.
something like they have a lot of frequent releases. So
yeah.
when you're playing it and there's gaps, it's like, oh, this worked before,
See,
not anymore.
the not hand holding is part of a game I've been playing recently that I can't talk about because of an existing deal with GoNintendo. I'm trying to tell you what game I'm talking about without saying it, but that is a game that doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't baby you. It plops you in the game, and you know nothing. You have to figure it out on your own, which I really like. Dude, what have you been playing? Oh, hold on. Mom Brain, what have you been playing? That's what I thought. Dude, what have you been playing?
I finally played something on the 3DS. I played the Streets of Rage 2 after downloading it. It's just as good as the original.
Oh, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like,
And
It's like Boo.
yeah, it's like Boo, baby.
I was nervous that wasn't going to be in there. I thought they were going to change it to something that made sense, but it's there.
Yeah,
It's
no,
definitely there.
it's there.
What's the other side? Something baseball?
I
Yes, baseball.
I think it's just it might
Go
just,
baseball.
Yeah, it might just be Go Baseball. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of great lost in translation things that they left, and it's just a special game still after all these years. Like, there's something about knowing the name of every like street punk that you beat up and kill.
That really is like that game is pretty much the epitome of that type of game, like the beat 'em up.
I can't believe they don't make beat 'em ups anymore, man. Or if they do, they're falling under my radar because.
Well, like I was saying to you, like not Alien Hominid, Castle Crashers.
Oh yeah, now it's like an indie movement to do beat 'em
Yes.
ups, which is fine because Castle Crashers is great. There's
Yeah.
other games like that, but
Yeah, you wonder why. Like, well, here's why. Because when better hardware and better technology comes out, developers are worried about doing stuff like that. So, like with a 2D beat 'em up or brawler, like you have like the same type of view. It's just everything is polygon. So, like, nobody wants to see it. I mean, like,
well, they
you know
tried-
what? Having the bouncer,
The bouncer,
really-
yeah, because the bouncer's like, we do 3D and make it still beat 'em up, and it's not great.
Yeah, bouncer was bad. There was also what was that other one?
Fighting Force.
Yes, that's it.
I remember
That's the one.
I had PlayStation Magazine back in the day, and I was so excited for this Fighting Force to come out. I didn't even end up buying the game because it just was like when it finally did come out, it was like
I played a
terrible.
demo. It was very bad.
Yeah,
You know, it was a good beat 'em up. Die Hard Arcade, that game that was in the arcade.
yeah,
that was really
game
good.
was awesome.
I played that a lot. But yeah, Double Dragon Neon is a good beat 'em up. It's I really like that. Soundtrack alone is worth the purchase of the game. The soundtrack is fantastic.
Well,
but
it's good to know because that's a franchise that I wanted them to keep on going with. I mean, even though 3 was kind of whatever, still should have kept going.
yeah, right. Like so. It was so popular and so big, and spin-offs, like you were saying, with Battletoads and Double Dragons. Like, I love those games. And then, like, I guess, not even 64, like, later in the Super Nintendo's life, like, that stuff just died.
Yeah.
When, like, the N64 and the PlayStation and all, like, beat-em-ups just died. Everybody was more worried about, like, 3D environments and stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but I would, I miss some of those genres. But yeah, you're right. It's definitely like the indie thing now. That's what indie devs do. They bring back the stuff that people won't do anymore. That's why there's so many 2D platformers and stuff from indie devs, because the only other guys that really do it are Nintendo. Nobody else will touch them. So whatever. What else you been playing?
Played a little bit. Got back into Destiny a little bit. on the PS4.
Dinklage version of Destiny.
Yeah, Dinklage version. One of our close friends just got a PS4, and he's been playing. He's been real into Destiny, so I've been playing every once in a while with him, and trying to get myself to a level 30 before the new DLC comes out. I'm at a 28, but it's still frustrating. Like it's frustrating because you'll play for hours and you'll never get anything, or at least I will. And I'm not great at the game either. So
Lube and Chip have a very, very, very high tolerance for playing forever and not getting anything. It does not bother them at all.
The thing that drives me nuts about it.
A waste of your time. I mean,
I will play, and I am willing to put in time to get things, but a lot of it is random. And
the game's still fun, but I don't want to, like, in a single playthrough, replay strikes.
Yes.
And that's all I feel like I'm doing.
You're exactly right.
We could play like 3 of them, and then it's like, oh, let's do this one again and see if we get something. It's like, we did this one, and I've done it. And I did it last
so it's
week,
not like scavenging, though. Like
you can do that, but the game has been out long enough, and you need to grind so much to get stuff that every nook and cranny of everywhere. Like, Lube is always the one that I'm like, Lube, where is this? I don't know. Tell me where to go. I know where everything is now because I've done it so many times. I used to do runs with Lube where he would take me to wherever, but then now I do them on my own because I know where to go. Like, that's why the expansion is going to be such a big deal because it changes so much. Plus, there's a brand new environment. Plus, they're redoing how weapon upgrades work. So it's going to be a big change, which is very welcome. Have you guys done? I don't even know what it's called.
I don't.
The mode where 3 you go in and fight through waves of bad guys, and then you get a treasure chest at the end.
No.
That's what I want to do. That's what I need to do.
Is that DLC or can I do that?
Oh, that's
because that's the problem. Is you and Lube and Chip have the DLC and I don't.
Not updated.
So that's another thing too. So it's like every time I play, we got to play the older levels again. Yeah. And I feel like I'm holding everybody back.
Man,
so
it's
I might
worse
not
for you because there's a whole bunch of stuff you haven't done then.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know if I want to spend the $40 to do it.
You might. Yeah, I was going to say
$40?
You should just because. You'll save a ridiculous amount of money just by getting the Taken King because it has everything else in it. So.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Taken King is everything.
Oh, but it's going to be like $60 then, right?
I think you're right. 40 if you're digital.
Yeah.
40 or 50. Yeah.
Well,
that's definitely the way to go because we've spent $20 a pop a few times now.
Well, here's the thing. I was thinking about getting it, and like once I got back into the game, I remembered how fun it was, but then that fun wears off quickly when you're redoing some stuff, so I felt like there's been a lot of redoing it. And I don't, when we were playing Dying Light, I could literally play for like 6 hours and not stop.
Yes.
And we weren't doing anything.
It really is like, it shows you like the difference between those two games. We literally were doing nothing in Dying Light and it was a ridiculous amount of fun.
And like with Destiny, like I can have fun for like an hour and a half, and then it's like, well, we've done everything that we can do today.
That's exactly what it is. You nailed it. Destiny is you go in. Destiny's like a job. You go in, you do a set amount of things every day to try and get what you want, and then that's it. Like I'm not doing anymore. I'm not going to do the same mission like 6 times. So every day you fire it up and you're like, all right, let's see what happens. And then, but there's so much you haven't done because of the expansions. Plus the Taken King when that comes out, that's perfect. You'll have a buttload of stuff. And on top of that, how things upgrade is changing too. So it's, you might as well hang back now and just hop in with the Taken King.
I do like the gameplay, and I feel like once I get more story-driven stuff, not that the story's that compelling, but like, I mean, these strikes don't seem like they're getting you anywhere, because you don't care.
Every time
about
I do a goddamn strike, you go in your ship and you're flying to the planet, and I'm like, this is supposed to be the same damn one again. I know it, and then the voice starts talking, and you're like, yep, here we are. I need to do like 4 strikes, and 3 of them I'll do. It's random. It's supposed to be random. 3 in a row will be the same damn thing. You leave one and you go right back into it again, and I'm like, oh. And I don't want to leave because it's usually Lube and I playing, and a third guy will randomly join in. I'm like, I don't want to leave like this guy. He needs something, so I'll do it. But I've long since passed the time when I would fight things. In strikes, I just run.
Just run
to the end.
To the point.
Like unless you get to a room where you
generally
have
the
to
way
kill
I do
things,
things
just
in
run right
games.
to the end.
Yeah.
I just run.
Yeah, that's what it's turned into.
How bad is this Peter Dinklage performance? Like Kevin Sorbo bad?
It's bad.
No,
man.
I would say worse.
It's so bad that that multiple times I've gone back and even said to myself, like, you know how you are, you're being too hard on him, and
No.
like giving it a second chance,
No.
and it's even worse than I remember. Like,
it's
happened to me like 3 times.
Lifeless,
Phoned in.
phoned in.
Like he didn't care what he was doing, kind of a thing.
Okay,
or-
so he's a robot, I guess.
Yeah, they probably told him like, look, you're a robot. I mean, because do you know what ghosts are? I still don't know what they are.
I
guess
take it as they're
explained,
living AIs,
but it was like, you know.
but yes,
he
it was like
Cortana.
you're a robot, and his plan was like, okay, I will say every word as soulless as I can make it.
But it doesn't. It's not
Has he been,
robotic,
like,
and it's not
has he talked
human.
about it?
It's
Like, has anyone
soulless. Is
ever-
like the perfect way to describe it. It
And it's
sounds like
soulless. There's
somebody.
nothing there. It's
Yeah.
him droning on, and it's
He just
It's
sounds
terrible.
Like really,
And it's
really
like,
bored.
and it's dialogue
Yes,
that's
bored.
not interesting, anyways. So you're like, you know, he didn't have a lot to work with, to his credit, but like, it's kind of like, oh my god.
but the
can
real
we make
test
this
is going
any
to
worse?
see how Nolan North does, because I guarantee Nolan North is going
He's
to be
gonna
a
make it
million times
interesting. He's
better.
gonna make it interesting somehow because the guy has some voice acting talent, and he, not that Dinklage doesn't, but like, you know,
Dinklage, I
he
think,
just
didn't know anything about the role, doesn't know anything about video games, just wanted a paycheck, and had no idea what he was talking about. So rather than being like, hey, what am I saying here? Or maybe I should say it this way. He was just like, give me the paper, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. It's like Krusty.
Hey,
And
kids, I'm talking Krusty. Here comes Slideshow Mel.
It
Slideshow
is
Mel.
r-
Slideshow Mel.
It is really bad. Like, it's so bad that when we're playing, Lou will be like, please shut up. Lou gets annoyed by it, and it takes a lot to annoy him in Destiny.
Plus you have to hear it like over and over because you're playing the same strike missions.
Yeah, and there are certain points where you can't go on until he's done talking.
Yeah.
So he's flying around you, and he's like, boy, there sure are a lot of bad guys here.
yeah,
I
like
hope we're going to be okay. I'll get you out of here. Wait, over there. It's a thing. Do stuff. I think I did it better than he does.
and even when the game first came out, like they made a T-shirt out of one of the lines about the wizard that came from the
The
moon.
wizard. It's a wizard from the moon. Which is a line they removed from the game before it came out because it was so poorly received. They made the shirts and the money went to charity, but they yanked the line from the final game.
And somehow everything else was left.
Yeah. Other voice actors in the game are fine.
I'm gonna have to listen.
Yeah,
to
no
this
problem with them.
after the show.
I'm sure there's a YouTube compilation of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dinklage's greatest hits from Destiny. You playing anything else?
I haven't played. I was playing the heck out of The Witcher. I don't know if I've been on the podcast since The Witcher came out. I probably like stopped hanging out when that game came out. So I haven't played The Witcher in a while. But let's just say I sunk like a good 200 hours into it, and that was like 2 different playthroughs. Like I played through almost to the end, and then I was like, you know what? I want to play it on a harder difficulty before I beat it, and played it again almost to the end, and then stopped playing it. But man, they did every week there was new DLC, and it was like, and Gwent is the fucking best.
Whoa.
Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. But I get excited about Gwent.
And Bart, watch that casual swing.
Gwent is the best digital card game ever. And but yeah, anyways,
I haven't played Gwent. You haven't played Hearthstone. I would argue Hearthstone's the best, but I gotta play Gwent.
They're actually, I want to say they're kind of similar.
I'm sure they are. I mean,
well, I don't know. I liked it. And in Final Fantasy VIII, if anyone remembers that, there was a card game that I surprisingly really liked. So it was kind of like a little.
Since last time you were on the podcast, you played Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yes, I did. Thank you for bringing that up. So I did play Final Fantasy VII. Still holds up in my mind. I mean, but my mind is, fogged.
I was watching you play it, and I was impressed by how
I was just going
different.
through. I mean,
like it does things that games don't do anymore, or haven't done since, or I don't know. Like it had a unique feel. But yes, you were like.
I can do it in my sleep, so I was just going through it.
Amazing.
But it is a very story-driven game, and the story is good, and like that's what pushes you through it. Because like, to be honest, the combat's not the most exciting thing you've ever played, but like you want to get through each fight to get stronger, to find out what's going to happen next in the story. It's like really well done in that regard. And it just makes me even more fearful for the remake. I was I'm the jerk like at the head of the class screaming for this remake for years and years. And now that it's finally coming out, I'm like, pooping
Well,
myself.
you've already had. I read to you
scared poopless.
the first warning that things are going to be different. They were saying they're changing some things up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's inevitable, but at least it's going to look good, right?
It'll look good. That's
See, and that's the thing. Like I was complaining about graphics earlier in the podcast, and now like all I'm going to be getting, I feel, is good graphics, and then maybe poor voice acting.
And looking back on Final Fantasy VII, minus the cutscenes, it is not a good-looking game.
It really isn't. And even those cutscenes, like they look okay, but like they're like dated. They're dated.
The mixing of like the polygon characters with cutscenes. I don't know why. I really like it. I know it looks terrible, but like still like I'm impressed by it. Like I don't know, like if I'm playing a Super Nintendo game, like I'll see a Super Nintendo game that like Chrono Trigger, I'm like, look at how beautiful this game is. Like they're doing a lot on here. And like with Final Fantasy VII, I'm like, look at how they combine these things. It's so like, I don't know, just interesting. Like you don't see it like that. But you show it to somebody who like didn't grow up with games and they're like, this looks terrible.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was. It's good because I guess on your system or whatever, it actually takes up the full screen. Like it's formatted for the TV and it looks decent. So that was good because I recently, like within the past 6 months, hooked up my PlayStation 2 and tried to replay Final Fantasy VII, and I couldn't really get. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't bring myself to get into it. One, because I played it so many times, but two, because it just doesn't look as good. It's looking a lot better here.
Yeah, minus the PC version. This is as good as it's going to look. So,
but yeah, still love it. It's always going to have a special place. And then lastly, as far as I can tell, I've been playing Arkham Knight myself as well. I can't really say anything that Kirby didn't say. I mean, he nailed it. Pretty much everything he said, I would say. I really do like it. When I first started it, I hated the tank. And I wanted the Batmobile big time. But it seemed like they were pushing it on you like real hard. And it was like some of the controls were frustrating. Like I still find some of the controls frustrating.
Yes.
Like holding down the button to stay in tank mode forever.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
Well, I turned that off. I actually like.
I thought that was a thing you could turn off.
Yeah, because I read a review where the guy said like, I don't know why this is like the default controls for the Batmobile and the tank, and he said like I highly recommend changing this as soon as possible.
Yeah, there's sections where it's like 20 minutes. You got to hold down the button if you don't change it.
That's crazy.
So many controls in that game. It is mind-boggling.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
It is insane. Like every button has like 3 different things you do with it. Like we have controllers with so many buttons, and this uses every one multiple times.
Yeah, it's crazy. The amount of stuff you can do in car, out of car, flying, in combat, in stealth.
Oh, you're launching out of your car? Hit X twice. Oh, you want to launch high? Hit X 3 times.
Oh man, that's my favorite. How cool is that?
Oh, I like doing it. It's just crazy that I have to hit the button that many times to do it. Like I don't know. I feel like things could have been condensed a bit when it came to controls, but I don't know. What do I know?
But yeah, like done really well. Now that I'm used to the controls and I'm into it, I really love the Batmobile and how they did it. I think it's awesome. I also was wondering how they were going to do things differently, just because, to be honest, the first 2 or 3, pretty much the same game. It's just like different locations and stuff. Some of the stuff is different, but like it's all pretty much the same stuff. This one's not really different, but like there are some new combat techniques that like are useful. It's not like stuff that they said, hey, you can do this, and then you never really do it. You just do what you've always done, which sometimes happens in games.
Just do what's effective.
Yeah, but in this one, like they try to throw at you different types of enemies at once, especially later in the game. It gets like pretty crazy, and your brain is trying to be like, press L while hitting circle and do this and jump around. And
I can't tell you how many times I pressed triangle instead of circle or whatever.
Yeah, all the time.
And just got like tased.
But
very embarrassing.
But there's like new stuff that isn't really gimmicky, I don't think, and it's like cool stuff that they added to it I thought they were like all done with his gadgets. It's like, how many more gadgets does he have or need?
Yeah, right.
But they did a pretty great job. It's a great game. The atmosphere is awesome. It almost looks like Tim Burton. Some of it looks like Tim Burton's Gotham comes
part
alive.
Of it has that vibe,
And then, but yeah, it's really 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 cool. I like it a lot. I like how you can there's a lot of secondary characters that fight with you and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mind the story as much. Can I talk about anything about the story, or should I not? I guess I should.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Well, anyways,
Still pretty
Try
fresh.
to keep this spoiler free, I guess.
yeah, there's one guy in it who's awesome. You might know him. He plays
Let's call
freaking
him
Star Wars.
Matt Van.
Yeah, but no, not.
Matt Bane.
We'll call him L. Simpson. Lisa
No.
S. But yeah, I mean, the guy who's reprising the role of this famous Batman character, not Batman himself, but a character in it, is awesome. And the way they do his character, is freaking awesome, I think. And it feels very much, I was telling you, RMC, it feels very much like a spiritual successor to Eternal Darkness in a way.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, exactly.
sometimes you don't know what's real, and you
Exactly, and while I was, while that stuff was going on, while I was playing, I was like, if Rocksteady is like, done with the Batman franchise, they really should do like a survival horror game because they're really good at that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're a big money maker, so I'm sure another company's gonna or Warner Brothers is gonna have them work on some license or something. But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. Is that it?
that's it. Thanks for listening.
I'll be quick with what I played. I played some N++ on PlayStation 4, and if you played any other N games, then you know what this is like. You jump, you collect yellow squares, and you get to the door and open it, and it's really tough. It's all about platforming and jumping, so I love it. I played that. I played something on Wii U. Oh, I played Splatoon. But something else, I don't remember. On the Xbox, I've been playing a lot of Rare Replay. So I've been playing. I finished that Battletoads arcade game. I started up Banjo-Kazooie, so I've been playing that. I want to start up Perfect Dark again, but I haven't yet. I played some of RC Pro-Am and Kroga Triangle and the old stuff from the NES. So that's where I've been playing most of my games this week. Some Nintendo games on a not Nintendo system. And on my phone, I can't help it. I'm addicted. Nikki Hill was right.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Nikki Hill was totally right. Frozen Free
I
Fall
knew it.
is so good. It's just a match 3 puzzle game, but it's great.
But it's frozen.
It is Frozen. I mean, I saw the movie. I like the movie. So I'm playing that. But, it is a free-to-play game. So after 5 tries, you have to wait a while. And my mom is also playing it. And she was like, don't wait. Just get another game to play. And then
Which
when
is
you
what your
play
mom
that
did
one,
with Candy Crush and Bubble Witch.
and I was like, well, what are you playing? And she goes, Disney made another game like that. And I was like, what was it? And she says, they have Maleficent Free Fall. And I was like, oh, do tell. So she showed it to me, and I downloaded it. So I'm now playing that. They're both match 3 games. Maleficent
I was
is a little bit
having a
different.
conversation last night. I thought with him, but it really was with no one because he was too busy playing Maleficent.
conversation?
That I don't remember. But I was like, hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Conversation. We're talking about you not listening. Of course you're not gonna know.
I don't. She didn't even bring this up with me, so I disagree with it.
Hello? And you were like, I'm playing my games.
And that's what's funny too, because I feel like a game
become
like that,
stories.
you could multitask, right? It can't be
He
that
gets
tough to,
really,
like-
and then I'll be like, you playing Frozen? He'll be like, no. Just put his phone down. Like, no, I wasn't playing Frozen.
You would think you could multitask, but
You made me watch. You were like, this is going to be a good one. And you were like, and then we sat there while
Now
I
wait.
watched it.
was it a good one?
It really was.
Oh, that's right.
It was very funny.
Well, I had a lovely conversation with you. I asked you to tell me the story of Maleficent because I didn't see the movie, so
Right.
now I know.
Was I in the bathtub? When you were like, look at this move. I was a captive
You're
audience.
laid down in bed in your robe, or
My Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
robe.
you're
Your
gonna-
robe is
look at this.
awesome, by the way.
I thought you were gonna put that robe on.
I
Never mind. Too late. We're running too.
I wish that was the
I had it
road
on
we
earlier.
got at Target. Those.
Yeah, right.
You gotta feel that sucker. It's nice.
It's nice. It looks
Roth
very
says,
plush.
I play Freefall Maleficent 2. Game of the year, people. All right, let's do music.
They are
GOTY.
1 and 2 in the App Store
All right.
for search Frozen Freefall.
See?
Here we go.
You should totally get it. They're totally awesome.
Sorry.
I don't need more to do.
Oh yeah, I
Sink 600 hours in the Frozen Freefall.
I already saw the name of the first.
You should totally do it. Frozen Freefall's
All right.
great.
This one comes
Look at Mr. Goody Two Shoes over there, not cheating.
from Mirage Chaos.
Silent Hill?
No.
This is very familiar.
You
But
played it.
I really think Silent Hill.
Well, it's not.
Do you have a system?
3DS.
I don't know. Anybody got anything? Majora's Mask.
No.
I don't know.
Give up?
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion Dork Moon.
No.
Oh,
God
Something
damn
stupid.
it. We did play that.
I thought you said you saw the answer.
No, well, I guess that was for a different
He's seen everything.
one of the other songs.
Seen it all.
All right. So this one comes from Kevin PDZ.
I said we have a certain vibe this week. Silent Hill.
No.
Jeez. It's all very minimalist.
Yeah, right? If you're listening and you're having trouble hearing, it's because the soundtrack is weird. Shadow Man.
No.
Deadly Creatures.
No.
Deadly creatures.
Great soundtrack. Perfect Dark.
No.
Majora's Mask.
No.
Beyond Good and Evil.
No. But it was on GameCube.
I might have played this.
Eternal Darkness.
No.
Come on, dude. You can do
This
this.
sounds very familiar. Everything or Nothing.
Mm-mm.
To the franchise?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think I've heard this.
It's not a James Bond game?
Nope.
Did you already say Metroid Prime?
That's not it.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah. That's, God damn it. Thank you, R42. Go ahead. I don't know.
Sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Splinter Cell.
Oh!
And that was from Kevin
Yeah,
PDZ.
we played it.
Play it.
All right. So
That game was cool when it first came out.
the next song comes from Wes FX.
Over 2. This is awesome.
Finally. Something I can hear.
I wanted to be Beyond Good and Evil for a second.
Right? I thought that's what it was.
That was System?
Wii U.
Xenoblade.
No.
What the fart is this?
It's cool, though.
Is something I played?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Tesla grad.
No.
Man, we're not going to get any this week. What is this? I'm there. I don't know where I am.
I'm
there.
there.
I don't know. Go ahead.
You don't want
Oh, there's more.
I don't. I
to.
really don't know.
Nothing.
What are you giving me a weird look
No,
for?
I just didn't know if maybe like changing up is gonna.
No, I don't know.
Darksiders 2,
Oh, sorry.
sent to us by WesFX.
You played that, right?
Well, yeah,
I
I didn't
played
play
it.
it on the Wii.
I played it too. Same
Great
game.
job, WesFX.
I'm just kidding.
All
Why
right.
didn't I think of that?
Next one comes from Rat
I
Mastered.
want to get. I want to get one.
Right.
I want to get that rat.
Finally.
Well, it sounds like Super Nintendo to me,
It is.
and it's terrible.
Oh yeah, this is the one that I saw.
Man, this is bad.
Oh come on.
Oh, come on, what?
This doesn't sound familiar too. Can I give him a hint?
Yeah.
Check the garbage for a turkey.
Final Fight?
Yeah.
What? Just regular Final Fight?
Yeah.
I do not remember the music being this bad.
Those colored glasses.
All right. So that was Final Fight from Rat
Final Fight
Mastered.
with the world's sexiest mayor.
This one comes from Denix, and this is Denix's first submission.
Garbage for turkeys. Thank you for submission.
This is like a weird Mr. Belvedere.
Streaks on the china. Well, Ronnie probably never heard this song, but he did play the game.
All right, so it's a game over song.
Ooh.
That's what I'm guessing she's saying.
Kind of.
It's a continue song. Have a system?
We.
I don't know. Dude likes Elebits. Let's guess that.
Nope.
Let's guess Zack and Wiki.
Nope.
That's a good guess.
That. Well, that's very familiar.
What, you don't like Elebits?
No, I was guessing it for you.
Well, thank you.
So Wario game?
Nope.
Raving Woods.
Nope.
All right, go ahead. Man, doing terrible this week.
That was Mario Kart on the Wii.
What was it for?
Losing results.
I don't remember that.
Well, you've never lost.
Even on a
Here
single
comes one
player.
from Wired.
We've heard this.
Sounds familiar. Man, you guys did really well this week. Just looking at you.
You know it.
What's this one? 3DS?
No. I believe it's Wii U. Yeah, it's Wii U. Of course it is.
Why would he know it then?
Yeah, I don't remember Wii U. Did I play here?
You're a fan of franchise.
Oh, franchise. Okay, Fire? Universal Console. Not Chrono or anything.
Nope.
Is it RPG?
No.
Man, what the hell's going on this week? A franchise. It's a franchise. Wii U. What have you played on Wii U here? Oh, Forget it. I don't know. Go ahead.
Bayonetta 2.
Oh no!
Alright.
Man, I'm doing terrible.
That was Bayonetta 2 sent to us by Wired.
Didn't sound like Wii U quality.
This one comes from Jet Jaguar.
Focus all attacks. Okay, it's Final Fantasy related.
Sure is.
Ring of Fates.
No.
Crystal Chronicles. But it's not. I know. Is it DS?
No.
No?
Nope.
What system?
GBA.
Oh dear Lord. Tactics?
Nope.
Final Fantasy? 3,
No.
4,
Nope.
5.
Yes.
Yay.
All right. Jet Jaguar sent us that one. Final Fantasy 5. This one's from Torque 110.
Twerking. Oh, we know this one.
Okay, go ahead. Guess the right game.
I have no idea, but I recognize it.
Well, you know what game it's from.
Well, it's from what? Final Fantasy VII. But that's not Nintendo.
That's right.
Oh, is it one of those like rhythm games? Favorite rhythm of Final Fantasy?
That's it.
Yes. But can we let it really get into the beat? Good. When I walk into school the first day, this is the song I love playing. So great.
All right, we're really late. We gotta.
All right. So that was Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy from Torque 110. This one comes from Combo Meal. It should.
This sounds like an RPG.
It is.
Oh, was it Gold Sun?
No.
Chrono something. Secret of something.
Nope.
Final something.
No.
Sword of Mana?
Nope.
Dragon something.
Nope.
Oh dear. Sorry, what
Sure,
system?
it's RPG. I don't know.
Oh, wait. Is it? It's not another Final Fantasy.
Nope.
Breath of something.
Nope.
It sounds very RPG.
You are totally leaving out. One of
Oh.
your twos.
Is it a
Pokemon.
Fire Emblem?
It is Fire Emblem.
Is it the second one?
That I don't know. I just have Fire Emblem. Thank you.
Good enough.
Alright, I'll take it.
All right, so that was from Camel Meal. It was Fire Emblem.
Come on
Last
back.
song. This one's for you.
I think we got them all. Oh, okay. 95% sure I know what this is from. Is it an N64 game?
Sure is. I know it happens to be one of your favorites.
What's the name of it? I don't remember the name. Wait, no, I mean the name of the song.
Oh, I don't
I know the game. Tetrasphere.
It is Tetrasphere. So that is 5 correct songs this week.
Not bad at all. Yeah, Tetrasphere had like a chiptune soundtrack and an electronica soundtrack, and it just randomly split between the two. It's really unique. It had like voices and people singing. I was like, that blew me away on the 64. You didn't hear that a lot. Well, we're really late, and I know I had asked you guys a question on Twitter, but we don't have enough time, so I'm not going to ask one next week. I'll read your answers next week because I'm not going to not answer them.
What time are we at now?
1:47.
Ooh.
So I have to wait until next week, but you can keep answering it, and I'll read everybody's next week. That's how I'll start the show. We'll do the Pokemon, and I'll read your answers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I guess that's it. See you
Have
next
a
week.
great
Bye,
week.
everybody.
Oh, I got to pee so bad. Herbie.
And I got a piece so
Oh my God.
good.
For a second, I thought you guys like hit the mute button because you all just ended so abruptly.
Just crawl under the table, thing.
I might, but a little pee would probably come out. Everyone get real close to Romy. Right there. Oh!
Oh! Now let's all be quiet so we can hear her pee.
All right.
Did you guys hear me pee before?
No.
We were too noisy.
What a shame.
You should play the theater rhythm Final Fantasy. Probably like it.
Yeah.
It'll let you relive all your favorite Final Fantasy VII songs in unique and interesting ways.
That sounds like fun.
It's like trying to think of a music game you would have played.
Donkey Kong Jungle Beat.
Yeah, it's like that actually. You're right. Same type of timeline and everything, except you're not just playing drums. You're doing like all the instruments. So like you know, in Donkey Kong it had like the circles. This has those same circles, but instead of hitting on a beat, you're tapping. And like for certain instruments, you like draw lines that match how the notes go. It's cool. Ooh. Well,
What was that game? What was that game with the? It was a DS game. It was only Japanese. You played as like 3 suited ghosts.
Oh, and Don. Yeah, they brought it here as Elite Beat agents. But yeah, I love. That's exactly what it's like. It's like that. Oh, and Don.
There was one song that made me cry.
The one about the lady that her husband died and like the ghost came to visit her or something.
Right.
Or like their daughter died or something. I don't know. Or something about.
I think it was a husband.
I still have that game.
That game was good.
Yeah, fun to play. Great stories.
Real dumb.
Made you cry. What more could you want?
Suited ghosts.
Yes, I do. R42.
I did say that.
I definitely do. All right. This is Export, and we're getting out of here. Thank you for sticking with us all this time. Thanks to everybody that was in the chat, and we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.